It was really, magical staying there.
Yeah. Aruni Mataji was in complete seva samadhi. Very nice, very nice.
When you say seva samadhi, I just want to ask you something, Mother. Are we on Facebook yet?
We are on Facebook.
Oh, okay, then I won't ask you now.
All right. Reserve your thoughts for next week. Okay, so here we go. I'm broadcasting on Facebook right now. Dandavat pranams to those who have joined us here on Facebook. And we'll get going with our recitation from the Bhagavad-gita after this short prayer to the spiritual master. Om Jnanatimrandhasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Welcome, dear devotees, and let's get started with Bhagavad-gita. What verse are we doing today?
127.
127 seems like a unanimous vote on that, and that is correct. So let me start sharing my screen here with you. And let's see. All right, so we see this. And in the order of appearance, we'll go today, starting with Varshana Mataji, then Satapa Mataji, and then Aruni Mataji. And is anybody else here?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, people are recovering from Janmashtami. Something very nice that I heard Aprunal Prabhu say yesterday, and it was just so amazing. He pointed out that he was thinking that when it comes to reaching Krishna, we always say that you should go through your spiritual master and not try to approach Krishna directly or go through his devotees. It's even better, like das, like that. So he was saying, and even if you see the prayers when we offer to Krishna, we first offer our obeisances to a spiritual master, and then we go and give, service to Krishna. So he was saying, like, if that is the order, then how come Srila Prabhupada is born after Janmashtami? He should have been born before Janmashtami. It makes perfect, chronological sense. And then he said, then I realized that actually Srila Prabhupada is born first. And then we have 1 year to serve the spiritual master. And then we can think of approaching Krishna. So this was like, wow, yeah, what a nice twist, and so true. Yeah, so Janmashtami and Srila Prabhupada, the two come one after the other. And for the disciples of Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, so there is first Janmashtami, and then Srila Prabhupada, and then Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj is, Vyas Puja comes. So for them, it's like 3 days of intense work, but it's always joyful activity. So let's see. Chapter number 1, verse number 27. And so this is about when Arjuna says that I want to look at who are Dhartarashtrasya Durbuddhe, Yuddhe Priya Chikisava, who are those who have come to fight. And the Krishna says, then Arjuna is seeing now, right? Oh, what did I do?
Yeah, that is 126.
I still have 126. I didn't do my homework. Okay, let's go grab today. We'll have to live with this. Let's fix it. Oh, okay. I'll try to see what we can do. Come on. Okay, it's here. 1.27. 1.27. Okay, today's will be a good one in the sense that, not. Oh,
You have
127. Yes, I've got the Sanskrit bad. Yeah. Okay, that's less work for me. Yeah, tan samīkṣya kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān. Because I was looking at it like, no, this is not what I've had thought in my mind. Okay. Tan samīkṣya kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo viṣīdann idam abravīt. Yeah, when I read this verse, I was like a little bit shocked. So let's look at this again today. Varshana, is this good enough for you to read? Big enough?
Yes, I can see it.
All right, so I'll just go a little bit higher. Okay. So the list was there. Matulan, Shastran, Bhatan, Pitran, Pautran, Sakhims Tata was last time. It was a big verse and had some few tongue twisters as well. So continuing on today with Arjuna's, observing the armies in the battlefield. So, tan samīkṣya kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo viṣīdann idam abravīt. So remember there are two ends over here. So dan, right? Viṣīdann, like the dan. Viṣīdann idam abravīt. So tan, all of them. Samīkṣya, after seeing. Saha, he. Kaunteyaḥ, the son of Kunti. Sarvān, all kinds of. Bandhūn, relative. Avasthitān, situated. Kṛpayā, by compassion. Parayā, of a high grade. Avishtaha, overwhelmed. Viṣīdann, while lamenting. Idam, thus, abravīt, spoke. When the son of Kunti, Arjuna, saw all these different grades of friends and relatives, he became overwhelmed with compassion and spoke thus. Right? So now Arjun's, Vishad Yoga will start, his distress. But from here, from today's verse, he's starting to lament. So tan samīkṣya, tan samīkṣya. So this is me has come here, but actually this word is coming from iksha. So from iksh actually means eyes. So tan samīkṣya, after seeing, so the iksha is eyes. So tan samīkṣya, sa kaunteyaḥ. Kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān. So again, this is a test to the tha and a tha. You always get the mixed up. Kṛpayā, parayā, kṛpayā, compassion. Parayā, of a higher grade. So para, you say, higher grade. Parayā. Avishtaha. Avishta is overwhelmed. So viṣīdann idam abravīt. I has a bar, so veed. And then of course there is a with a bar. So a with a bar, a with a bar, a with a bar. These are little heavy emphasis here as compared to how much you are doing here. Okay, so let's get going with Varshana Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Tan samīkṣya sa kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo viṣīdann idam abravīt. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Sutapa?
Hare Krishna. Tan samīkṣya sa kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo viṣīdann idam abravīt.
Abravīt, very nice. Arni?
Mataji, this one, like samīkṣya. So, is the pronunciation is right?
Yeah, samīkṣya.
Okay, samīkṣya. Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, I just want to ask the kr, K-R. Here it's kr, not kri, right?
No, it's kri.
Kṛpayā.
Yeah, kṛpayā.
Kṛpayā, it's not kṛpayā, it's kṛpayā, right?
Oh, okay. Like an emphasis. Yeah, this is very different from, let me see, this ra with the R with the dot is re, which is giving a little, as if it's a soft I there, right? Re. And then this is a I with a bar. So yeah, you're right. It's not kri, as in krida, right? It is kri. You see, this is kri. Kri. And this is she. Is that your question, Aruni?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Tan samīkṣya sa kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo viṣīdann idam abravīt.
And then this will be done. This is like in el dante. You see, dante, done, done. Not dhan. Dhan means money.
Oh,
viṣīdann, idam, abravīt. Yeah, done. Okay, and I know from some of the languages in the south of India, they will say dhan. Yeah.
do we?
So it's all, yeah, sometimes they will, not here, but they will usually, where during Sanskrit, it's a D, in the Tamil or Telugu, it'll be a harder, like with the H there.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, like for example, in Hindi, you will say Smita, right? But in the south, the name will be Smitha, like that. So there's an extra H every now and then. Yeah, it's a different language. Yeah, it's a different language. It's not that this is right and this is wrong. It's a language. I use that.
Smita, but I would say Smita, not Smitha.
You will say, yeah, but their names are Smitha. Shruti. Like
Oh, Shruti, yes.
Yeah, but here it will be Shruti. In the north side of India, Shruti. Those languages, Shruti. So the ta and the tha, like that, yeah. And then the da and ha also, yeah. Okay, it doesn't matter. We are learning Sanskrit. Okay, tan samīkṣya. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Tan samīkṣya kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān.
Yeah, bandhūn. Yeah.
Bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo kṛpayā viṣīdann idam abravīt.
Yeah. So viṣīdann, you just go viṣīdann, not danan.
Okay,
right?
not
Viṣīdann.
okay.
Yeah. Like the way you say annadan, right?
Okay, okay.
Like dan. It's like dadan, like that, right? And this one, kṛpayā. It's not kṛpayā.
Kṛpayā.
No,
Kṛpayā.
kṛpayā.
Kṛpayā. Kṛpayā.
Yeah, it's not
Full
kṛpayā.
pa.
Yeah, it's a full pa. You got it now. Yeah, it's not a half pa. So there's a
Kṛpayā.
difference. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why the way Prabhupada has used the translation technique, you can never go wrong. His method of depicting. There's so many ways people do transliteration, right? But this method that he has used here can never go wrong, right?
So when you read the Sanskrit, so by the same token, it's also that's Hindi, kṛpayā. So you
Yeah.
don't say.
Absolutely, they are languages. Yeah, they're languages, and that's why I always laugh and I jokingly tell you that this is how samskaras also act, right? Just because I've been speaking that language since childhood, just because I've been speaking that language from childhood, when I look at Sanskrit, I will use those things again, right? And that's why I always tell you that don't read from your mind, read with your eyes. Because mind has got the samskaras already etched that this is smitha, this is kṛpā, kṛpayā. Yeah, that is right. But what is Prabhupada saying here? Prabhupada is saying kṛpayā. He's written it here. So what's there for us? Right? And that also brings us the mind that this is what it is. As it is means this. As it is means this. He has written like this, you pronounce it like this. What's the difficulty? Right? But the difficulty comes because our mind comes in between. And that's the difficulties translation and translators also face. When Prabhupada is given a translation, they'll try to interpret it. And when you're trying to interpret it with your mind, remember, your mind comes with its own algorithms, which are there etched for not this life, millions of life. And so if you master that act of, looking at, I'm reading from my eyes, and that's samadhi. Focus, attention, meditation. Focus on only one thing. Right? I'm just going to read it like that. Right? And you can never.
Yes, Mataji, when we were children, I remember we used to tell our teacher, kṛpayā andar aaye. Kṛpayā andar aaye. So, kṛpayā, adha pa hota tha. Whereas it should be full pa. Kṛpayā.
Yeah, it'll be full pa in Sanskrit, yeah.
When I look at the Sanskrit, I can see that now viṣīdann is not dhan. So I think I should just look at the Sanskrit because
there you go. There you go. Yeah. And whenever you're in doubt, there's Prabhupada to help us here in the transliteration. If at all I look at this and say, okay, it's a big one, how do I say, right? Like viṣīdann, right? Idam, and then viṣīdann. Oh, you know what?
Yeah, it's viṣīdann.
Yeah, viṣīdann idam. Yeah. I was looking, where is the idam? Yeah. So viṣīdann idam abravīt, right? And this is the beauty of it. That this is viṣīdann abravīt. It is not viṣīdann bravīt. If you just look at this, it could look bravīt also, right? And this is where I would like to caution all of you that in this version of the Veda base, you have the book there, Mataji, Varshana Mataji, in front of you?
Yes, Mataji, I have.
Yeah.
So the Sanskrit is not correct there then. Viṣīdann, idam.
No. Sanskrit is correct. Sanskrit is correct. And I'll tell you a nuance of, it's taking you to the other level. And let me see if I can give you an example. Yeah, there's an example here, right here in this verse. Can you just check, Mataji, this is written as it is?
What do you want me to check, Mataji?
Viṣīdann idam abravīt, this word.
Viṣīdann abravīt. Correct, Mataji?
Correct, right? Okay. So now I want you to show something that sometimes a word will end in half a letter, half of the letter.
Yes, Mataji.
Right?
That halant is there.
Yeah. So you see, this is a half. There's a halant there, right? This is a half. There's a half, and you can see how Prabhupada has written. He's written tan. He has not put a next to it. Right? So when there is no a and there is a na. So everywhere Mataji is saying parayāviṣṭo, there was a p here, so he made it a pa. How come there is no n and a here, right? But here you see this is dan, and again this one also the ta has got abravīt, right? So they are half letters, so it is not abravīta. So you might just say, oh, I'm very confused. Sometimes Shraddha Mataji says that, it's in Sanskrit, you have to put that a, it's a soft a, you have to put that soft a, but how come I'm not putting a soft a at the end, abravīt? How come there was no a over here? The reason is, you look at the Sanskrit, it is not a full ta and not a full na. These are half, that's why abravīt. And so Sanskrit gives you the difference between abravīt, abravīta, abravīta. You see? So there are 3 grades in which you can pronounce a particular letter. So vita, vita, like that. So now, and this is what, and that's why they say that in this Kali Yuga, because we cannot pronounce the verses correctly, there are chances that we can turn the meaning, and it becomes opposite. Because by adding the letter A in front of anything, it can become the opposite, the soft A.
Yeah, change the meaning of the word.
It becomes the opposite, right? So in this case, it's not changing the opposite, but it can also change the tense. Like when you add a before a verb, then it becomes the past tense. Said. Right?
Oh.
So abravīt means to speak, right? And abravīt means to speak, and abravīt means spoke.
Yeah, tense.
Went in the past time. Yeah. Arjuna spoke like this, right? So because Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra, what happened? Dhritarashtra asked what happened in the battle of Kurukshetra. Arjuna spoke. Right? This goes in the past. Now here's the interesting thing, that where is my abravīt here? I don't see an abravīt here. Right? If you just look at it, where's the letter a in those who understand Sanskrit? There's no a. So where is that a coming from? Actually, the a is coming from over here, from this. Because this is a half M. So it was a half M, as if it was a M with this thing, halan, underneath it, right? As if it was there. But what happened was, there was viṣīdann idam. So there was the word idam. And I don't have that handy, but
Mataji, I've seen that in Sanskrit when there's a ma, more than saying, whenever there's a ma, the next letter begins with the ah. Like I've seen in
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, yes, Mataji.
because in other
Om.
shlokas also that I recite, it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a good one. So let me just go and look at this. I'm trying to bring, and so now you will, you must be appreciating, I think by now, that chapter number 1 of Bhagavad-gita gives you a good, is a good place to go. And whenever you're looking from some letters, Sanskrit letters, easily you will find examples of that. I'm just trying to see. I might have to take another example to explain, but I'm trying to see if I can get one. Okay, maybe it'll come after. Okay. Anyway, maybe. Okay, let's see. Right in the first one. Bhagavad-gita.
I have another question.
Yeah,
Mataji.
this one.
Is it not Bhagavad-gita or Bhagavad-gita?
Bhagavad.
Bhagavat, right?
Da. So again, it is actually a ta. Bhagavat means God. But when it comes in before a consonant, then the T becomes a D.
No,
So
I meant the first part, ba. It is not bhav,
Bhagavat.
it's ba, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's a good point that you're raising. And so here, let me just put this. Here it's I'll show you. So this Bhagavad-gita, right? But Bhagavatam. So you see there's a difference. Bhagavad-gita, Bhagavatam. Yeah. So that difference is there. Yeah. So let me go back to where I was. And I was trying to show you here the Om. You see the M with a dot in it. The dot in it. So when some people, some verses have got that dot in it, right? So if you go back and look at our what we are reading over here, right? So this is actually, I should catch it from there. Here. If we go from there, this is sort of I'm just trying to explain it to you. Viṣīdann. Right? It is sort of like that. I'm not able to do that halant, right? I'm not able to do this thing there, here, like this. So viṣīdann, it's like viṣīdann, it's a half thing. This is not the right way. I should not tell you that. It is M with it is a M with this one, right? It's M with the half M. So how are half M's represented? You see, half M will just be represented by M, simply by M, right? If it was a full M, then you would have put it like this, idam. That's how Sanskrit will differentiate between M, MA, and M with a bar. You know, there are 3 different ways in which the letter M can be represented, right? Just ma, and ma. That's why you notice sometimes I'm always telling Sutapa, put more emphasis in when there is a bar on it. You remember that? So again, it's a language thing. So here, this is actually a half M. This is actually a half M. So it is half M. And what has happened is that these two have combined, because half M and a A will become a full M. Because A means that bar in, that vertical line means so, and because you cannot pronounce consonants without the help of a vowel at the end of it, right? You just can't say pa, well, there's a sound of a there, right? So he's combining this idam and this abravīt, and they become combined, and they look here like idam bravīt, if you look at that, right? So actually, when you're pronouncing it, this should have the least emphasis in this series. You pick up the least emphasis on the A here, and then you take that A, not that take that A, the A actually belongs to bravīt, right? Idam abravīt. So, and that is where Prabhupada comes to help us. He comes to help us here by saying, hey, this is how you will do the sandhi vichhed. This is how you'll break the words up. And so if you can read the Sanskrit language by yourself, that is good. Sanskrit is very good for recognizing the letters and how you're going to pronounce it. Like as Aruni said, that the and the, yes, those will clearly be depicted in this language, but then in the script. But if you don't have the background of having learned that script, right? As many of us here in USA, especially non-Indian bodies, they have not seen this, they don't understand this. But for them, this is just perfect. And I know one of my god sisters, she's from Russia, and she came to ISV, and I was talking to her, and so she didn't understand much of Hindi, of course, but her pronunciation was flawless. She would not make any of the mistakes that we make because of our cultural background of a particular language, because she was strictly following Srila Prabhupada's pronunciations here. Strictly, and there can be no way that you can make a mistake. So, idam abravīt, he said, idam abravīt, right? Idam abravīt. Right? Otherwise, from those of us with a Hindi background, we'll say idam abravīt when you're trying to grapple this Sanskrit over here, right? So, yeah. Okay, so we have gone over time. Let's just, do one round. I don't want to cheat you on the full pronunciation. So go ahead. Whose turn was it? I lost track of that.
It's me, Mataji.
Okay, so that.
Yeah. Tan samīkṣya kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo viṣīdann idam abravīt.
Abravīt.
Yeah,
abravīt. I remember when I was a young girl, I was a sprinter. I used to sprint with not much of a formal education or training. I just like to run. I used to run, and those were the days were different. You got selected at district level and all that to go and represent. So I got somehow selected, and I went to represent my district again with nobody to guide me. My mom took me there. And so we were running. My mom was watching, and I didn't get the first prize. I came second or something like that. And then she told me, so what had happened was that as I was running, I saw that ribbon, right? Where you're lying, where you have to, those days there used to be a ribbon, not the line on the ground. There's a ribbon. And so you had to kind of touch the ribbon. So as I started approaching the line, I saw the ribbon running. So I slowed down and I reached my hand and I touched it. And the one who was first, she ran through the ribbon. And so my mom said that, when the end was near, you gave up on the efforts that you were putting, right? Because you did not see that other girl was trained that, you don't wait, you just run through and it's a matter of fraction of seconds, right? Who wins or doesn't win. So for Sutapa, as you come to the end of a sloka, don't lose on your breath. Abravīt. Abravīt, not abravīt. No. Yeah, I'm already done. I'm out of breath, So the Mataji is asking me to emphasize. Last one also. So yeah, and this is something.
Nice example, Mataji.
Abravīt. Yeah, go for the end. Yeah, okay. So then Aruni Mataji. You can give the full one, and then we'll do full for Varshan and stuff also. I have got some meetings to go to, actually. Yeah.
Tan samīkṣya kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo viṣīdann idam abravīt.
Abravīt. Very nice. Okay, Varshan.
Tan samīkṣya kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo viṣīdann idam abravīt.
All right. And if there was one word from this that you'd like to pronounce again, which one will that be, Varshan?
Viṣīdann idam abravīt. Viṣīdann.
Kṛpayā. You found it. Okay. All right. Then let's go.
Yes, Mataji. Tan samīkṣya kaunteyaḥ sarvān bandhūn avasthitān kṛpayā parayāviṣṭo viṣīdann idam abravīt.
Very nice. Okay. This time you're first. Okay. So on that happy note, we'll just stop and here. And we will meet, hopefully I should be back in the realm. Yeah, we should meet this Friday and then, Sunday also after that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for joining, despite being so after the hectic Janmashtami schedule that we all looked at. And yes, this is key, how we being steadfast in your devotional service and your sadhana is a key to everything.
Mataji, can you give me 1 minute?
Mataji, I have to go for a meeting.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
madam.
Text me.